Last man standing. He is standing behind her door, holding a machete up high, 18 and blitzed on crack. I don't see this. To be honest, I'm in another bedroom. An observer, always the little guy taking notes in the back. But I'm like 10, 11 years old, woken up by the sound of my sister screaming. Tanya screams like a referee whistles. I imagine Mom half sprang up in bed thinking it was just Tanya being hella dramatic. "What's wrong?" Mom hollered. "Is a kitten dead?" Tanya shrieks again and again. No words, just stabs the sound. I'm afraid. Maybe there is a dead kitten. Queen Vicky has had another litter. There's kittens and hair and cat pee all over the place, especially in Tanya's bedroom. Mom's voice goes baritone. God fucking damn it. Her bed creaks. Through the slats in my door, I see her billow out of her room in her muumuu, bare feet slapping heavy-footed, the stink of cigarette smoke lingering long after the last puff, swirling in her wake. Her footsteps thud down the tiled hallway. Tanya keeps pets, and sometimes they don't end up so well off, like Cotton Cushion, the white kitten who drowned, or Conscience, her rabbit who one day had ants crawling in and out of his eye sockets. Yeah, I got to find him on the porch like that one day. Now there must be a kitten with its guts hanging out. Tanya's screams pulse, and now Mom's yelling. Scuffling. A body thumps against the wall. Oh my God, I am freaking out. Jumping out of my bed, into my bed. Should I go under my bed? There's no dead kitten in the house. We are floating in a tepid azure sea among sparkling coins of sunshine on dimpled water. Tanya in her one piece, eyes closed, has her arms stretched out as she floats. I'm dead, she says in a monotone. You are not! I won't play this stupid game, not in Hawaii on a perfect day. I may be a dumbass little kid who falls for dirty tricks, like you playing dead, so I can buy you a ho-ho or some soda at Jack's store to revivify your trickster ass. But there's no corner store here for miles. We're at the frickin' boat ramp at South Point, me and you and Mom, and she's beached on the coral, nose deep in a mystery, puffing on a joint. It's just me and you and this blue ocean and this flawless dome above us. Maybe there's some Hawaiian bubbas setting up fishing lures on the tailgates of their truck as they smoke pakalolo. But San Francisco and Jack's store is 3,000 miles away. I need, Tanya gasps, slowly arcing one teenage arm over the water surface, reaching for her throat. I need. Suddenly she lunges up, laughs and screams, boo! And Mom's sitting up, one hand cupped over her eyes, watching us. I can almost see her grimace squinting in the light. Then she gets on up, adjusting her bathing suit, snapping the elastic against her tush, and almost slips down the algae-covered boat ramp. Tanya and I laugh with a deeply nurtured sense of schadenfreude. Mom dives in, and in a couple powerfully scary strokes, she's in front of us, squirting water in our faces. Hey, if I got hurt, it wouldn't be funny at all, she laughs, or she says. Mom's yelling incoherently in Tanya's room, but then there's a body-pounding thud on the wall, and I know the fight has moved into the hallway. There's a man here. I hear his low, rumbly voice. Who can he be? There are no men left in our lives. Get the fuck out of my house, you motherfucking asshole! Rings quite clear. That's Mom. I don't know what to do. I'm immobilized on my bed. Don't touch me! Mom bellows like an angry Valkyrie. The fucking cops live next door! Well, that's a bold lie. Some pot-growing gay guy lives next door. What's he gonna do, whip out his bong and blow us full of smoke? I start to scream. Maybe someone will hear us. Pause. Tanya and I are bouncing seatbelt free in the back of a pumpkin orange German thing, and Mom's driving like the Kaiser himself, biting a cigarette and manhandling the front wheel, wearing sunglasses, a black one-piece bathing suit, and a pair of flip-flops. All around us, the Hawaiian landscape shimmers with golden grasslands, the occasional bent and twisted kiave tree, and a colorful furs of lantana flowers. She takes us home the hard way. We could have alternately taken the asphalt South Point Road that passes by the row of windmills that stand like giants. But no. No gentle paved highway for Mom. It's all about the potholes. Remember that Robert Frost poem? It's about the road less taken, and this one takes the Grand Slam prize. We're on a carnival ride, Tanya and me bumping up and down as we're semi-launched into the air. Thank fucking God there's a roll bar to grab onto. Mom's brown arms are winging this way and that, and fingers are clamped to the wheel as she navigates the thresholds of lava rock. The road is rarely straight. It goes up and down and all around. And then we brake momentarily. Will you look at that? Mom commands as she absorbs the vista. You've got the ocean to the right. So much of it you can see the curve of the earth. And the white caps are tiny parentheses in the big blue sea. Then uphill, looking Mauka, there's the endless perpetual upslope of the mountain. Mauna Loa, the big kahuna, disappearing miles and miles away into a cap of clouds. Mom lives for this. Ever since she had to raise us girls on her own, she worked during the school year, then took us here. I can't say Tanya and I were very happy about it for the most part. We were spoiled-ass American kids, daughters of a San Franciscan pot farmer. We wanted the arcade, Fisherman's Wharf, the boardwalk at Santa Cruz. We wanted summer camp, or long days wasted in front of the television. Tanya and I really got into some rows out here, stuck in a motherfucking tent in the backwoods of the Big Island. Try to tell us it's fun to camp out in a rainstorm on Christmas, back in the days when our tent was so small you only stood hunched over. And if you touched the walls, the rain came through. Thank God for sunny days. Okay, kids, get on out, Mom says, yanking on the brake. Ahead, there's one holy mother of a rut, a 4-foot deep socket carved out of the dusty road as if something caved in. Mom kicks us out in case she flips over. Tanya and I walk beside the massive dust cloud Mom makes as the thing plunges in, motor wanging, wheels spinning. I imagine for a nanosecond the thing flipping. And how the hell would we drag Mom free? There are no phones out here. If we're lucky, we might see a person in a few hours, but more likely it'd be a cow. Wah, wah! Screams the engine, its orange nose bobbing up from the rut. Mom is standing, like that helps. The thing struggles like an armored beetle to rise above its ball of dung, and suddenly it does. And Mom's there, triumphant with a silent glee. Come on, kids, get in. Then bang! Someone's gone. A vacuum of momentary silence fills our house with a collective intake of a breath. Is the nightmare over? Here's where my memory begins to fall. I'm in warm Hawaiian water again, but instead of being at the South Point boat ramp, it's Honolulu Bay. Its arcing quarter-mile crescent of a beach composed of tiny black and white greens. Sentinel-like palm trees fringe the beach, and they rustle, a beautiful, papery sound, comforting. I'm floating in bath-temperature salt water. On the beach are a couple of kids, their parents, and my mom. Further behind are our tents. The only missing figure is Tanya. After the chaos of her childhood, she's gone off to college. Unlike other high school graduates, she wanted to get the furthest away from her family that she could. So she flew across country and landed in Boston, about as far from San Francisco as she could get. Would you like to go to Hawaii with us for Christmas? Hell no, she would not. I slipped like a porpoise onto my stomach, mouth submerged, only my nostrils above the water. Salt stings my eyes. I'm floating in a stew of aloneness, just watching. One kid stalks crabs at the lava rock tide pools. Two of the other kids' dads are popping open St. Pauli girls and firing up the barbecue. A toddler throws a tantrum and his mother smokes a joint and rolls her eyes. Then suddenly there's an unwelcome ripple through the bushes. Something or someone is coming quick. Like a pig, a wild pig, this overgrown part of Hawaii is rife with snarl-toothed, wire-backed pigs. But I see the willowy figure of the wife of someone camping with us burst out of the bushes, her new baby in her arms. She yells my mother's name. Mom meets her halfway across the beach. They talk quietly. Then my mom goes, "Oh no," and runs off the beach. I'm left crawling through Honolulu's breakers, wondering what the fuck is going on. "Tanya!" Mom cries from the foyer. "Are you all right?" I hear heavy footsteps from the hall, and then both her and my sister's voices. The man is gone. Then my mother is coming down the hall saying my name. I'm okay, I'm okay. I've just gone into fetal position and I'm about to pee my PJs. It turns out Mom had opened the door to Tanya's room and saw her eldest daughter crunching herself into the closet while this teenage thug stood over her, holding high a machete, saying to give him her money before he killed her. So Mom ran into Tanya's room. She grabbed that teenage boy by the back of his hair and yanked him into the hallway. I imagine for a second they sized each other up. Same height, same devil inside. Then he knocked that bitch down, but I can see her spitting fire even while flat on her ass. That's when she screamed, "The cops live next door, and they certainly hear this motherfucking ruckus." The cracked out kid didn't know what to think. He'd cased our house for weeks. He saw a trio of females coming in and out of the place. He didn't know jack about the neighbors, and he clearly had no idea of what a single mom could be like. He ran, slamming the door behind him. He would be caught. He'd go to jail for 3 years, and then the year he was released, my sister would escape to college. My mother would grow more marijuana in her warehouse in San Francisco's Hunter Point and plan to move to the Hawaiian Outback. And I would move through the world, a captive spectator, watching and waiting. Visiting my mother at Pleasanton Correctional Facility is just about the worst thing. It doesn't make me happy. I have to take off every one of my carefully placed safety pins for starters to get through the metal detector. I hate these motherfucking pigs. Watching me, I'll watch you right back. In the waiting room where I wait interminably, denuded of my independence and dignity, I glare at the guards. They can't arrest me for a dirty look. I know what their minions are doing in the back room, checking my mother's asshole and mouth for contraband. Mom maintains a phony cheerfulness throughout these visits. She wants me to visit once a week, but it ends up being every couple of weeks. She's famished for family. She peppers me with questions, yearns to know the teenage me, but I've built a fortress, and I begrudgingly unlock one door at a time. I'm the one who watches, remember? There's not much to say about PE and U.S. history. I tell her about going out, how I'm finally going out. I have a job and some money. I'm not afraid to take the bus at night. She doesn't understand about my favorite bands, the Dead Kennedys, the Dead Milkmen. Why do they all have the word dead in them, huh? They think they're clever, she laughs. And anger seethes inside of me. And at the end of the question and answer session where nothing is learned or gained, after my uncle shakes at his watch and says it's time to go, I quickly hug Mom, as long bear hugs are not allowed here, and then my uncle and I leave. I smell Mom on my clothing, her sweat and the tang of cigarettes as my uncle drives his truck away from the prison. I want to cry, but I keep it locked down. My uncle and I do not converse. My expression is impassive. The highway across the Altamont Pass cuts through grassland hills dotted with black-faced cows, a scenery that smacks of the Big Island. Windmills whir around and around, dizzying against the hillsides.